But today we are talking about something everyone can relate to, right? Organizing and decluttering, from that overflowing closet to the mental load that can just be exhausting that you have to deal with. We're bringing experts to help us.
Yes.
And of course, Joelle Garguilo is here to talk all about it.
Listen, there's not enough help in the world to help your girl out today, but you know what? I'm happy to be here. Okay, so for the table, raise your hand if you've ever looked around your home or your apartment and thought, how did it get this bad?
Fully a reflection on what's going on in my head.
I know. So we have all been there, and that is exactly why I caught up with Bonnie Barrios, who's a professional organizer, and she is teaching us her method to declutter your homes. It's been studied and it's been said that a decluttered space can significantly improve your mood and your mental health. But where do you start? Well, that is a question for the experts. Enter expert Bonnie Barrios, professional organizer, amongst many other things. I think so many people can get incredibly overwhelmed when it comes to organizing.
It's hard, and it is very overwhelming, right? Because everybody wants to do it all at once.
We're here in my apartment, but we're going to tackle my kids' room. But these are steps you're saying anybody can follow.
Pick the room, pick the area, set a timer, because you don't want to spend the whole day. Ask a friend to help you. Ask an organizer to come and help you. And if you don't have an organizer or a friend that wants to come and help you, grab a glass of wine and put on some music and just do it.
All right, ready to go to work?
Oh my God,
Let's go to work.
So excited.
I gotta show you something. I don't even want you to see this space. But you know what, Bonnie? Let's do it. To break it down, Bonnie says first, assess the space. It's like you can't even open it, can you? Next, clear out and categorize the clutter. So let's go. Bam. Got it. This is everything that was on the floor.
What I do is, as I'm picking everything up from the floor and as I'm taking everything out, I categorize it. It makes it easier. Donate, keep, release, garbage, and keepsakes.
What's the difference between release and just trash?
I work with a lot of clients that have sometimes a little bit of a hard time letting go of like kids' art or their homework or their notebooks. I'm not gonna be like, get rid of everything. We'll be like, all right, well, why don't we release some of these papers, which is a softer way of looking at it.
Bam, bam.
Release.
Proud, Bonnie. Okay, now it's time to put everything back. Bonnie says to really think about a system that works for you.
If you have kids, like your apartment, your home is not going to be a museum, right? It's going to look like there's a family and there's kids. But it's all about creating systems and created homes, creating a home for everything that you have and organizing for you and your kids. Let's organize it so it's easy for you and for them to just pick up their things or put the things away, and that's how we start.
You want to utilize vertical storage.
In New York City, space is limited. We have to use the walls. We have to use our vertical space. Look at this. Girl, this is prime real estate.
Clear bins, they're going to be key.
You use like a basket that you cannot see what's inside, you're not going to use it because you don't know what's inside.
Exactly.
But if it's clear, then they're like, oh, my purses, oh, my little doll.
But it has a home.
But it has a home, and it doesn't have to be super duper organized.
We have tackled everything on the floor. We've tackled the drawers. Where do we start with the closets? Because that's a day in and of itself.
I love closets. Really take each item and take a look at it and be like, when was the last time I wore this?
You want to set the timer and see how fast we can do this?
Sure, let's set a timer for like 15 minutes.
Like this. Bam. What is that?
Donate.
When tackling the closet, Bonnie says sort by sleeve, then color.
We start with the short sleeve, we start with white, and then we go into sweaters and then sweatshirts.
You're done. Bonnie is a miracle worker. Did it.
Ah, look at that.
Wow.
room.
Yeah, we're going to introduce Dr. K in just a second, but I will just say there's so much I couldn't show you. The food, the junk, the things that I found underneath the bed.
No.
It was absolutely disgusting. A big thank you to Bonnie Barrios. Okay, so now that we know the steps to get that space all tidy, there's another huge part of this that cannot be overlooked. Ever heard of the phrase, clean house, clean mind?
Sure.
He has. Yes, well, you can't have one without the other. So now it is time to declutter our minds, and we called in another expert for that to learn about reducing stress, overthinking, anxiety, and decision fatigue.
All right.
We got the experts over here.
We do. Dr. Daniel.
Knuffelmacher.
There's no right way to say it.
I did not want to mess that up.
Dr. K is great. Dr. K.
Oh, Dr.
Great last name, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay, we got questions for you, Dr. K.
All right.
Let's start with, we know people are struggling with mental health. I mean, at an all-time high, especially with the state of the world.
Yeah.
Let's say that. So What are your patients struggling specifically right now?
Well, I have to say, I'm so glad you guys are doing this focus this week with the experts and specifically thinking about mental health, because there's a problem in this country.
Sure.
People are overwhelmed. That's the word I hear
feel
the
it.
most.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, and I hear that from my patients. I hear that from my loved ones. I feel it myself at times. And it makes sense when you think about all the things going on in the news, the divisive politics, economic worries. We have social media and our phones that are constantly bombarding us with information when we're trying to focus. All of this together really takes its toll.
Yeah, a big part of mental health is learning how to cope with these issues, right? So you don't become overwhelmed. So what steps do you recommend people take to ease their stress and overthinking?
Well, I think there's some that you can take right away, some ASAP steps that you can,
We like
you
that.
can move to. I mentioned social media and your smartphones. I think removing electronic distractions is a really important thing to do. The phones have ways to limit notifications. It's something which you can put it on do not disturb mode. Make sure those very important things can come through, but you can actually control that.
Yeah.
I think another thing though is what we do when we go online. We can end up doom scrolling, looking at all of the news.
And Rubem and I talk about this every day.
It's like a rabbit hole you can
Sure.
go down, and that can increase your stress. It takes away your focus from other things that are more immediate in your life. And there are things that you can't control. So you want to focus on the things you can control.
Is there anything you could do for people, like I'm thinking about people in my life right now, like the doom scrolling and it was on their phones, like you can't necessarily take an adult's phone away, but like, and I'm kind of putting you on the spot, but anything that you could recommend do in place of that?
I think the main thing is just to explain to those people who are close to you that this is something that is going to detract from your focus. This is going to make you feel worse, not better. I think people look to the news and think, okay, I'm gonna find the solution, I'm gonna feel better, but in fact they see things that they can't control, and they need sometimes to just tune that out, go on a diet of that information.
Yeah,
and
like
just
Google
do
is
it.
not a doctor.
Right, and so right, exactly.
Yeah.
And I have one more question though, and I need so much time with you right now because
know.
this is such a
Hey,
great
I'm
this is
here
such a
for it.
great topic. But is there something I can do like in my everyday that sets me right in some way?
Well, I think there are really things that you can do all the time that center you, that ground you. Really, I say this to everybody I work with, who I'm working with as patients. Sleep is the bedrock of everything. If you get enough sleep, if you're not sitting on your phone as you're going to sleep and doing the doom scrolling, but you create a nice, safe, comfortable space for sleep, you get enough sleep. That way you'll go through the day, feel more focused, feel less anxious. I think diet is another important thing to think about. What are nutrients as opposed to processed foods that give you enough energy and make you feel good throughout the day? Exercising, whatever it is that grounds you. Is it something where you're someone who feels better exercising, walking in the park, journaling, talking to friends? Those kinds of things are going to be important. And then lastly,
Be kind. Be
really,
kind.
because we can feel overwhelmed, and then that can feel like we're falling short. But we're not
Give
falling
yourself
short.
grace.
Absolutely.
Can you stick around for the commercial break just to help us personally? And I just want to say your last name one more time. Thank you, Dr.
K.
Dr. K. No. Say the full name. Say the full name.
Knuffelmacher.
Knuffelmacher. Thank you,
Great
Dr.
name.
K.
Thank
Knuffelmacher.
We are going to use this time. And if you guys want more of this stuff, let us know. Write us and let us know. All right.